Hey guys, Doc here to talk about Los Monstruos by James Robinson, Jesus Marino, KJ Diaz, and Jim Campbell. Sorry, my voice is cracking a little bit. A little bit of sinus issues. Nothing to worry about though, as we open this book by James Robinson. And it's got a hard-boiled detective story feel from back in the 40s and 50s. And in the afterword, it actually talks about James Robinson is explaining where he got the ideas and some of the things that interested him about the movies from that time. So we have the Gill man getting chased by this detective at the beginning, and then you come to find out his surprise is that he's a werewolf. And his name is Perry Cutter, and he saved the son of the Bagaris, who were a wealthy family from the Middle East, Eastern Europe. And Los Monstruos is the name of the town. And it's kind of a town where you've got, it's almost like the town in Fables. And so you've got all of your movie monsters, you've got Gill men, you've got aliens, you've got people who look like this guy right here, you've got these fly people. So right quick you get a feeling of old Hollywood, but it's mixed with the Universal Monsters movies at the same time. So it's a neat premise. And then you get to meet Albert Ross. And Albert Ross is an older guy who comes to Perry and he wants Perry to find his lady love, who is a vampire. And many years ago she offered to change him, to turn him, and he said, no, I don't want that. And he said, it was a moment of weakness, and I just want you to find her so that I can tell her that I love her. So he has to go back and talk to his detective friends and a few people he used to work with at the police station. And so from what artwork I've shown you here, like I said, you get this Norrish feeling, and you get thrown back into a simpler time. It's a time of Casablanca, a time of North by Northwest, Gone with the Wind, that sort of era. Past the silent era, but not into the modern, quite jet set era of Mad Men and things like that. But just like most of the other books that he's done recently, this is going to be the first 4 issues is going to be its own thing, and it'll come back for a sequel for 4 more issues. So I don't know if this is Dark Horse's idea to do what Marvel is doing, where they give you 10 issues, and then if you do well enough, you get 10 more issues. Or Image seems to be doing 9 issues. So like the Tin Can Society and books like that. The Moon is Following Us is going to be 10 issues. So maybe that's they're trying to do it in seasons, which is okay. That's fine, as long as it's not seasonal in the way that Nice House on the Lake and Nice House by the Sea have been from DC. I don't want the first 4 issues, boom, 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 and then 3 months before issue 5, and then another 2 months before issue 6, and then we go on a 6-month break, and then we come back. I don't like that style. I get that if you're writing 72 comics a month or 72 series, that you can't do them all every month. I get that. But you know what? Have at least half of your story in the can and finished before you solicit all these issues. And yes, I'm kind of looking at you, James Tynion. The stuff is great. The stuff is amazing when it comes out like that. But I am getting a little bit older, and I can't keep up with sometimes the books that I read every 2 weeks, like Amazing Spider-Man. Sometimes I have to go back and flip through the previous issue just to remember exactly what's going on. Part of that is my age. Part of that is as many books as I read every month. Part of that is, you know, I think part of that is I've lost a step with my ongoing situation with diabetes, which is not bad. I'm not in poor health by any means, but once I stopped drinking so many Cokes and stuff like that a couple years ago, it just feels like my memory is not as sharp. And even in this video, you can kind of tell sometimes I struggle for words. And I guess that's just kind of a side. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to branch off into personal territory there, but I guess I just don't like books when they don't come out on a regular basis because I've pretty much forgotten what's going on. So hopefully this 4-issue mini will come out on time. Everything will be, you know, like clockwork, and we'll get to come back and see issue 2 of Los Monstruos and Peter and Albert Ross and all these other characters that you got introduced to in the series. And he's already said that the main protagonist of this particular 4-issue arc is not going to be the only protagonist. So we're going to see other sides of this city, other sides of this landscape. But for this 1-issue, 1-book initial assessment, I want to say that this really intrigued me to the point where I want to come back and I want to check out further and see exactly what's going on in this new world. And I'm excited for these new books by James Robinson. I haven't finished Starman just yet, which I have both compendiums, but I've enjoyed the heck out of what I have read of that first compendium, which I think I'm about halfway through with it. So anyway, guys, if you didn't get a chance to check out this book at your local shop this week, see if you can catch it on League of Comic Geeks, one of the online retailers, or even eBay, and see if you can pick this up for pretty close to cover price, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. I would say that if you enjoy old black and white or even 1950s Hollywood-style movies where you've got horror wood instead of Hollywood. If you enjoy that particular era of movies, this book is definitely something that you need a dose of, and I would recommend that you get it quickly before you end up getting the cold that I apparently have come down with. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me in this video. Again, I apologize about my voice, but I will catch you guys in another upcoming video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. Let's keep this channel growing so that you can see even more content just like this.